good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. And today is 400 episodes. Holy shit. Let's kick it off with some Maffy's Garden with his Songtember song, Locked Out. Oh yeah, boy.
Hello? Anyone home? Vaccines, trampolines, everything you've ever seen. Coffee shops and restaurants, home you like it, take away. Motor's cars, rebel sport, it's okay, you can stay. Can we go outside? Real lockdown, ready or not, real lockdown, guess what's up? Real lockdown, chickadee top, real lockdown, you're not getting up. Just regret, home's in there, haven't cleaned my kitchen yet, borders closed, juice deployed, phone inside, door to door, kids are scared, now I can't go back in and wash your hands. Can I check your papers, please? Real lockdown, losing control. You're real lockdown. Don't tell me I'm slow. You're real lockdown, ready to blow. You're real lockdown. I've seen this show. Grocery stores, pharmacies, heavy metal, paranoid, schools and home, food delivered, haven't touched another human, homelessness, suicide, politician, pay rise. Can we go out tonight? Real lockdown, ready or not, real lockdown, hold my cup, real lockdown, still what you're told, real lockdown, not getting up.
Boom. Yeah. Awesome. Maffy's Garden, Locked Out. That was recorded during Songtember, another killer track from this awesome community. That is Darren Anderson's brother, Matthew Anderson. They live slightly apart, and if you've ever got to hang out with them, you'll notice they speak very distinct difference. Even though they're both in Queensland, they're both... Maffy's a little bit more ochre, as we say here in Australia. But maybe you'll get to see soon, because hopefully he'll be on the show very shortly. Hey, if you're watching over on Facebook, welcome back after your 6-hour panic attack yesterday. Welcome back. There's a little Facebook link. Remember, there's a little link just there. It says facebook.com/we all rise together. You can join us on the Facebook group, The Warts, because that's what this is all about. The Warts, we all rise together. You can also join us over here at the YouTube at youtube.com/JadeStarr, or you can head over to Twitch at twitch.tv/how-to-app on iOS. Yeah. Alrighty, let's say hello to the folks in the chat, catch up with you all. And then I'm going to show you something really cool, because during the I nearly gave away the lead. During the decimation of Facebook yesterday, something else was born to take its place. The one ring that rules them all. goodbye to Facebook because something else is back from the grave. Kind of, sort of, but it's cool anyway. Hello, Not a Box. Hello, Thomas Christ. Hello, Joe Glenn. Hello, Thomas Gillane. Hello. Thanks also, Thomas Christ, for putting the link into the chat for Meffy's Garden. Hello, Paying to Get. Hello, if I can find my scroll wheel. Patrick Chandler, hello to you. Hello, Russ, man. Hello, thank you for the kind wishes for 400. Hey, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys because it's all about you, definitely not me. Brad Example, Brad, we got some stuff with Brad coming up. You got to stay around because Brad's a bit of a star in today's show. Yeah, oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hello, Kim Harden Hudson. Hello to, who else am I missing? I said Not a Box, didn't I? Yes, so you were first off the rank. Rick Lisk, what's going on, my friend? Andy Goldsby, hello to you. G-Sun Official. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Kev Hart. How you going, Kev? What's going on, mate? Good to see Kev Hart here, as always. SM Borthwick, hello to you. I think I've got everybody. I think I've got everyone. Alrighty, shall we talk about, we'll look at some price drops first, shall we? We'll look at some price drops. And, because there ain't many. And then we'll get into this really cool thing which happened yesterday. Price drops. Don't give away the lead. Oh, I almost did it. Price drops. Sample tank is $14.99. So, down from, so it's $10 off. IK Multimedia. I've only done one show on Sample Tank. It was on the acoustic guitar app, which is really pretty much the show still. Oh, there I am. Oh, what the hell? What the hell? There you go. And Syntronic is on sale as well, half price too. Not much change from yesterday. Hello, Cy, effing good to see you. Mammoth Bass still on sale. If you don't have Mammoth Bass and you're a metal player, fucking get it in your cunt. Oh, I said the C word already. I don't care. It's my party and I'll swear if I want to. Isn't it? All right, so Facebook went down yesterday, folks, and one of the amazing moderators here, Scott, I put up a post when Facebook came back saying, you all back now? And Scott sent me an article from Vice saying that MySpace is back. I said, MySpace is back. What? No way. So if you've been around the show for a while, hello Audible Video, you will know that I'm a massive fan of MySpace. It's one of those websites I wish never went away, man, because there's something about MySpace. It was unique. You could add your own flair to it, and it was about music. It was about music, and that's what connected people, where Facebook came in and bullied MySpace out of the equation. If you haven't seen the story about how MySpace died, basically, Facebook came along and MySpace, the creator, Tom, sold the business to Murdoch. I think I was pretty sure it was Murdoch, and they totally royally fucked it bad. But as it turns out, somebody out there has got a hold of the MySpace original code, a fan of MySpace, and they have recreated painstakingly MySpace down to the very minute. And yesterday, a few of us went and joined up. So let's talk about MySpace for a little bit, because it's got a new name. Where are we? So here is my MySpace. And it is awesome, man, to be back on MySpace. Now, if you're an older person like me, you'll know MySpace was fully customizable. And if you're thinking, that doesn't look like a MySpace page, well, it does. If I hit my home button here, you'll remember back in the days of MySpace, you could make your page look however you wanted. You could add HTML, you could add everything to make it look cool. When you went back to your home page, it would always revert back to the original page. Look at this shit, man. So the page is called Space Hey. That's what it's called. That's the only difference. Space Hey. And you can still do all of the code injecting, All of the HTML, all of that, it's all still here. They have completely recreated it from the ground up. It is absolutely piss fun. You've got instant messaging, which works as well. Everything works, man. There's only a few things that aren't there. So you can see since I've been on here 20 hours, I've got 16 friends. Woohoo! 184 profile views. So you've got your blog entries. You've got cool new people who arrive. You've got your photos. Everything is pretty much the same except your friends. You can't have a top. You can't have a top 5. And no, Tom is no longer there anymore. The person who's recreated this is in your friends list now. So if I go to my address here, which is here, my URL, and head over. So clearly I've gone in and added my own look to this page, just like you used to be able to. So here's your friends list. And you can see there's Cy Effin. We've got Cy's already on here. Who else? Let's look at my friends. We've got Tom. So Maffey's Garden's on here. Scott's on here. Mars Capone's on here. Thomas Christ. Let's look at Thomas Christ's page. He was quick to the draw. Look at Tom's page, man. He's on fire. Look at this shit. Man, MySpace is back. It's not the real thing, but you know what's really cool about it? The person who's taken it over has paid attention to really making it secure. They've got password security, 2-factor authentication. Man, it is choice. And so you can add your own links to Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So there's a few little tweaks that make it more modern. But from what I've seen as well, all the people who are adding me are bands, man. They're all musicians already. It's fucking cool. Happy dance. Something good came out of Facebook going down yesterday, and this is it. Let me go back to my homepage, and I'll show you. Where are we? Yeah, so we've got all these people who've added me here, all artists, all music, Occultronic, they're all bands. And within the short time it's been up, there's nearly 100,000 people already on there. This is shit hot, man. This is what we want. This is, hopefully, they're going to, I don't know, be able to maintain this because they keep adding updates to it. So it's still the same thing to add content. What you used to have to do, if I go into here into my edit profile section, I'll just give you a rundown of this because it is fun, man. Right, so you remember, if you've ever used it, you would have to add, see all this code in here? This is all the code I've added, which was from a predetermined website. There's already people making code and making templates to do your page, which is ace. So I added mine in here. If you have a look at the top, we'll zoom in a bit. So what I've created here is a link, so an image source to one of my photos, and then my writing here. And let me just go back and show you. Come back. So you can embed some really cool stuff in here. You can't embed everything. Remember, since the days of MySpace, HTML's changed a little bit. All right, there's not everything's going to work. We moved to HTML5, so we're using a different language for YouTube and such these days. So when you can see on my page, I have created these. So I've created links to my Spotify, so you can click on any of these and it'll play my top tracks for each of my artists. So I've got Kindercore in there, Metheist, Utensils, and up here I've embedded a FMC video clip. So you can embed all this stuff into your MySpace page really easily. And if I just go into the code, I'll show you this. I won't hang too long on this. But when you click to the side here, it tells you all the embedded content you can actually add. So you can add embedded content from Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud. Look at it all. Anchor. So if you've got a podcast, you can embed podcasts in here. Vimeo, Daily Motion. I know, it's the little things that get me excited. But this is definitely made for artists, yeah? And down the bottom here, when you're inside this section to edit your profile, here's where you can, it says here, discover pre-made layouts and designs on Space Hay Layouts platform. So when you click on this, you get all these layouts that people have already made. So you've just got to go to their layout. If you like something, you can copy the HTML and copy it into your... Look at this shit. This is MySpace back from the dead, man. All we need is somebody with a Tom background. So, and why am I sentimental about MySpace? Because in 2007, when I did transition and all that stuff, and then I came out and started playing music again, I had a MySpace page, and I had like over 100,000 fucking fans, and I was doing really well. I was getting gigs from it. MySpace was like one of the things that got me lots of shows and got me lots of publicity, got me on radio stations. It was a huge deal back then. And then all of a sudden, it was gone overnight. And it turned into this absolute shite platform that just wasn't about. So look, so many cool things. And you can, if you know a little bit of HTML, you can take one of these layouts and you can modify them, change them how you want. You can change the HTML, the backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a fun thing. So the website is spacehey, as in hey.com. You sign up for free. It's freaking cool. I'm digging it. I'm loving on it big time. I think it's ace. So yeah, I've got 16 friends, and even this, like, you know, this is for me, I think another way to maybe reach people for this show, which I may not be able to reach, because you've got blog entries, and straight away I've dived into blog entries. Where are my blogs? Let's go back to my blogs. So I can advertise this show now every day. Here are my blogs here. So I can set up blogs. There we go. So each show I can do in here as well, and hopefully reach a more music orientated base of people. So I think this is really cool. I'm loving it. And I even checked. So we had a message back and forward yesterday between me and Scott, and it worked great. So the messages work, all that kind of stuff. You can see here, you can add friends, send messages. You can instant message people. You can block and report users. I think this feature hasn't been added yet. Add to group. But yeah, and you can see here on your home page, if you hit home, this is where your feeds are, your bulletins. So all the people in your list, when they change their bulletins each day, you can follow their bulletins. So it's pretty much a bulletin board as well. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. I'm digging it. That's Space Hay. So I don't know if you want to get onto it, but there's a few of us, and already I've heard some cool music on there. You can just do searches and find some cool music. There's lots of artists on there, lots of artist groups. Yep, Tom's just said hundreds of groups already. I don't know. It's worthwhile jumping on this little gravy wagon before it gets ripped down. Who knows? And I'm sure what's going to happen, like last time, is there's going to be people who are going to create awful looking pages with crazy flashing things that annoy the piss out of you. But that's what's cool about it, man. It was the Wild West of musical pages, you know. You could make it look like your own thing. And that's why Facebook's so fucking boring. Everything is the same color. Everything's dull. There's no character to Facebook. Where this, even though some of the outlays were annoying and look shit, at least it was like a fucking Wild West of music and yeah, it was good times. So yeah, sure, I'm reliving my past and enjoying this shit. And if you do too, jump on. Oh yeah. Hey Seba, I hope you're doing well. All right, so we are at episode 400, man, and it feels like I've done 600 because it's been a wild, wild ride. Do you want to see that one? I'll show you what it is, the fuck you one. Let's have a look. So it's this guy who's just asking people to write fuck you. Look at all these people he's got to say fuck you. Should I do it? Let's add a comment. We need to do it. Fuck you. Yeah. The Wild West of social media is back with Space Hay, the MySpace clone. Good times. All right, so we are episode 400. What are we going to do today? Going to go back through some of the episodes, and then we're going to spin the wheel. Remember the wheel? The wheel moved over to the Patreon. Well, today I'm bringing back the wheel. And here's the wheel. And look at this. The wheel has 399 episodes on it. And we're going to spin the wheel and randomly see what shows come up. who knows what shows will come up. First, let's jump in and have a look at possibly the worst show. And it's everyone's worst show when you're doing a YouTube channel. Absolutely the worst show is the very first show. So let's dive in and see how embarrassing the very first show was. I have not watched this in ever. Oh dear. How to App on iOS, Episode 1. Make an album cover using Over on iOS. So I didn't even start this with a music thingo. Let's see what's going on.
This is the first episode of How to App on iOS.
Oh God.
With me, Jade Starr. I hope you can hang around for the next 20 minutes as we delve into something quite fun, hopefully for everybody.
Sound like a robot.
Oh, I have some, what have I got going on there?
Uh-oh.
I think I've got my... I think I had my iPhone running in the background there.
Oh God.
So, basically, what we are doing today, as I bring up my main chat for the day, we are going to...
Look at that old layout. Look at that shit,
put
man.
together a death metal album cover from scratch using one solitary app from the App Store.
From the App Store.
And
where
to get
else would you
everybody
get it
into
from?
The mood, I've created a song around this band. I've just made this song, so it has no band name as yet. We're just going to make it up now, and this is what I created. I'll crank it up for a second.
And this is my outro music. I never even used to be on cam back then.
We're going to leave that going in the background.
Are we?
Who am I?
I don't know.
My name is Jade Starr. I'm a musician.
Does it get any more exciting? All right, so this was the record cover I made.
I'm going to hit rotate.
So this,
Yes.
I was trying to make an album
Spin this
cover
one around.
full of dead bodies. What the fuck?
Maybe like that. Might even flip it.
Oh God, man. I can't believe this is a year ago as well. Well, it's actually 15 months.
There we go, just like
15.
that. Now
We're
I'm
coming
gonna
up
go
to
back my
16 months doing this thing.
images again.
Man, it feels like 8 years.
Unfortunately, you have to type it in every time. Let's type severed limb this time. See if we get anything else up here. And you can tell if it's a PNG with a transparent background by the little squares behind.
Can you? Wow.
So we've got a couple of
Let's have a look.
once again
So slowly this album cover built up.
for a pool.
And I think some people got pissed off over this show too. Because I put
So we get
I put Donald Trump's head on the
some
top.
splatters.
I had comments saying, "Fucking leave Donald Trump alone."
Okay. This one looks okay.
Man, people get so touchy.
I'm actually going to take this one here. Now I'm going to move it down
I don't want to be
the bottom
famous.
of the list in my layers, all the way down to the bottom. Position that.
Wow.
That is truly.
So here we go. Here was the top.
Digestion in the text.
So it was somebody in the chat who said it too. It wasn't even me.
This is how cool this
Look.
app is. The perfect one has appeared right at the top. I think that's... It's like the cherry on the cake. What do you think?
Pile of limbs.
Yeah, cherry on the cake. He's not orange enough. Goodness me.
What the fuck? Some things
Oh,
don't
dear.
change on this show, yeah?
There we go.
Not PC.
We'll adjust it a little bit, give him some contrast. He needs a little bit of contrast and some saturation. The dude's absolutely saturated with bronzer. So
there's no shade of orange that's orange enough, is there?
bizarre. Okay. So there it is. There is, within 20 minutes, just a quick demonstration of how powerful this app is. Now, I haven't touched on so many of the things that this
All right.
app can do.
Here's the other funny thing. Let's turn the volume down there. Here's the other thing. When I first started this show, right? So it was, if you have a look here, every episode was how to do something in 20 minutes. And the joke was that every episode went for like 40 minutes. It was fucked. Let's what do we got? Building an orchestra. Let's see. Let's go to the first interview that I did. So this was with Pete Johns. Let's have a look. Of course, Pete was the first interview that I did.
It's a good thing.
My God, I've got normal hair back here.
Everyone, and it is,
And look at Pete's beard. He looks like a fucking Outback Jack. He looks like he's been chewing on animals out the back.
Hopefully, to be a good person and to be kind and sharing and
Look
do
at that
the things I do.
beard.
But yeah, it really to me.
Oh man, we got the
sort of
echo
strikes
going.
me
This is
because
how
they were
pro
playing
I
really
was.
Cool music, or the '60s music that they started with the 6 o'clock
That
rock. I think I've
beard,
talked about it on
man.
my shows before. It used to be like 6 hours of '60s music.
He's a fucking
on
animal.
on a Saturday night, and I'd just sit down and know
He looks
all
like-
the words to all of the different.
Looks like he's
songs,
been
and
chewing
a lot
on
of those
deer.
songs, like you listen to music nowadays, a lot of it is built around the 50s, 60s, 70s. A lot of those chord progressions, a lot of those guitar tones, a lot of the things we
See
were
if I
listening
fixed
to
up the
then.
audio.
Usually I've got a day job, so
Nah,
8 hours a day.
bad audio.
I've got a wife and family, house, mortgage, bills, dogs, all that sort of thing to do. So yeah, it is about
My
finding it.
God.
And the advice I've given other people, because I know people say this to me all the time. The question is, I want to do something like you're doing, or I want to create music, or I want to create videos, or whatever it is, but I just don't
Yeah, I
have the time. And it's true,
Matching
it's a challenge.
shirts.
You only
What
have
a
finite
joke.
time. You've got a
Hey, what's
limited
going
amount
on,
of time.
Alex?
But what I did when I first started doing this
So
is
there's
I
a first
started
interview.
really carefully prioritizing and really aggressively prioritizing my time into what was actually important to me and what would be fulfilling to me. So
Oh,
I used to
blah,
love
blah.
playing
Yeah, yeah,
PlayStation. Like,
Pete.
I would sit and play PS4 for 6 hours. Like seriously, the wife and kids would go
Blah,
to bed,
blah,
I'd sit
blah,
down
blah.
at like 9 p.m. and then
Shut up, Pete. My Lord, that beard was crazy. Let's jump forward because, hey, the interviews have been a massive part of this show. Some of the interviews I had on the show have just been so wild. So I don't know if you know this, so we can jump over here. Over at the website at howtoapponios.com, you can get to any of the stuff here. So I've painfully on the website put up all these playlists of everything, season 5, season 4. We've got the Rocky Horror Show that was banned. Remember that? I did the live stream and Fox banned me. So all the creator interviews are here. Everything's all on this page. We can get to all this stuff. I update it frequently like a mad person. So there you go. There's that. Let's go back over to YouTube because I want to find, where are we? Because interviews are kicking off again in the next week. And we've got some really cool interviews coming up. Where are my interviews? I can't even see them. Interviews, Songtember, creator interviews. Here we go. Can you believe, really, there's been 46 interviews on this channel. 46 interviews. That's really amazing. But I'm going to cut to one of my favorite ones right now. And he's here in the chat today. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy this because there's some moments in this one, yeah. I think he's already sitting there knowing it's him. Where are we? Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Example was on the show. Now, Brad Example. Let's talk about Brad Example. Brad had a section in this video which you have to see to be believed. Let's jump in and have a listen to two of Brad's wonderful stories. And I'm sure if you haven't seen this before, strap yourself in because it's going to get dangerous. This was about halfway through the interview with Brad Example. And I'll let
no
him...
matter what he's going through or how hard it is, he lays on his bed with his iPad, does the same thing that we do, but he does it in a harder way. He makes it harder for himself for some reason.
So he's
And
talking
then,
about Russ here.
Puts out music every Monday.
He's
and
talking
it's
about Russ
brilliant music,
masturbating.
and I respect and love that. And it inspires me to do more.
Yeah, well, Russ wrote here that we need to form a band called The Disabled.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know,
eh?
of course, Russ wrote that in
Well,
the
you know,
chat.
look, it's been a privilege. I remember when you first came on Clubhouse too. You're quite reserved and asking a lot of questions and stuff, and really like I guess I don't know. To me, it felt like you're tiptoeing around and just feeling your way around. And now these days, you come in and we get treated to wonderful stories like where I'm heading right now, right on the hour. This is where I said I was going to do it. Brad, would you like to tell us a little bit about the infamous bear story?
Okay, so my grandparents owned a resort when I was a kid, and my mom grew up on it, and her 7 brothers and sisters. And so when I was a kid, we used to go there every weekend and go fishing and swimming and boating, and they had this big, beautiful resort. And it was a hunting and fishing resort. So these hunters had come, and I think they were Asian, but I can't remember because they were after the gallbladders and paws because they think they're aphrodisiacs of bears. So somebody during primitive tag season, so you can go in for a draw for your primitive tag and you can bow hunt. So these guys came out for the bow hunt, and somebody had hit a bear and didn't track it to kill it. So because there were so many kids on the resort playing out in the yard, we were all on high alert and told, okay, you guys can't play outside because there's a big grizzly out there and it's been hit and it's going to start wandering in to look for food and help. So you guys will and it's going to be ornery because it's been hit. So we were out playing one day, and then I see my grandpa come flying out the door with a revolver, and this bear gets up on 2 feet and starts kind of coming towards us, and then drops down on all fours and starts barreling towards us. So my grandpa shot it, boom, had to shoot it 3 times before it fell. And then when it fell, he rolled it over real quick because you're not supposed to do that. So he had to gut the bear and pull all the bullets out of it. So he takes the knife out of his pocket and guts the bear, reaches in, pulls all the guts out of it, takes my family member, grabs him, I think he was about 2 at the time, and puts him inside the bear's carcass. And it was like a bathtub. It was so big, it was like a bathtub, and the blood was about 2 feet deep. So he just puts, my family member inside there, splashing and playing inside this bear carcass that was full of blood. And I was blown away, like, how come the blood's not draining out? Why is the blood still staying in there? It's not draining out anywhere. It was just staying inside the bear, and it was deep. And there's, my little family members splashing around and playing in it. And then my grandpa, and that's the part I forgot. So after I told the story, I asked my mom about it because I figured she'd remember a few more details than I did. And so she said, oh, yeah, your grandpa cut his balls off and was dangling them all in their faces. And everybody was screaming and running around he had the balls dangling in their faces. But that's when my grandpa taught me, like, cut out the gallbladder and said, yeah, the Asians use this as an aphrodisiac. So they come down here and they do like poaching, and they kill off-season bears, and they just take the paws and gallbladders and leave the rest of the bear in the bush. And, we're against that. And that's not what ethical hunting is about. And, and I'm a vegetarian. I've never eaten meat ever in my life, but I always respected the idea of culling and living in nature the way I do. I understand that, there has to be a balance, because when we have so many deer in town, then the wolves come, and we get, like, they had to shut school down last winter because there was a pack of wolves eating a deer in the school parking lot. So they had to turn the bus around, bring all the kids home, had to cancel school for the day. Like, it gets wild here. And there's a bear that comes through, like, right past my bedroom window into my garbage. Like, it gets wild here sometimes.
When you first told that story, I just could not get the image of your 2-year-old brother splashing around in the corpse of a bear. And I couldn't understand why your grandfather put him in there.
None of us could. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see.
So
it was so funny.
I've brought up this information here about Asian people collecting gallbladders And here's this.
Yeah.
For 3,000 years, bear gallbladders have been used as a popular ingredient in Oriental medicine and are believed by some Asians to relieve human liver and gallbladder maladies. The gallbladders, freeze-dried, powdered, and shipped overseas, can fetch more than $200 a gram, or between $15,000 and $25,000.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So they would come up to where we live because there's so many bears and just, make a fortune, but leave the carcasses laying there in the middle of the bush. So when you're a kid playing through the bush and you trip, all of a sudden you're tripping over a giant fucking grizzly that's got no paws and just had his gallbladder removed. It's like those people that wake up with no liver all of a sudden and they're in a bathtub of ice. It's like that. Like,
But bears.
yeah, but with bears.
Fucking Lord. Dude, I remember the night you first told that story. Even Joe's just reading, oh my God, that was a night on Clubhouse. We were in fits of laughter for how many hours?
So,
And you just kept making
when you thought that wasn't funny enough, he followed it up. Hey, what's going on, Pete Johns? Just in time for the best story. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Orchestra Eclipse. Well, guess what? Just when you thought that was enough,
Folks, this is what you're missing out on.
he came up with a better story than that.
Another story I was going to
Oh,
tell.
please.
on
Are you
the show
ready?
actually.
Please.
So there was
Strap yourself
so I
in.
was living in Toronto and I was working and I had this roommate, my girlfriend's, this girl, she lived with me and my girlfriend. And it was Saturday morning and I'd been working. I was a welder for a while. So I'd been working. So I wake up early Saturday morning and I'm like, okay, get my coffee back. This is way before the internet and way before cell phones and porn was still VHS tapes. So I go down, I rent a porno from the porno store. I come home, I have my coffee, I'm in my house coat. I get to the door of my living room, I drop my house coat, I'm naked. I pop my porno in, I light up a joint, I'm drinking my coffee, watching the porn, and then I'm giving her, and all of a sudden, this guy fucking comes around the corner.
I'm giving her. I'm giving her. What the fuck?
Standing in my living room, who I never seen before, don't know him, never fucking didn't know, and
Hey, Jamie.
my roommate had brought him home from the bar the night before. So the guy's standing there while I'm laying on the couch, like in full, like mid-stroke, like I'm fucking sweating. And so the guy's standing there, he's staring at me, and I'm laying there, like looking at him, and I go, "Hey, man." He goes, "Hey, man." I go, "You might want to leave for maybe 5 minutes and come back." He goes, "Okay." And so he fucking goes back into Farrah's bedroom. The girl that I was living with goes back into her room. I finished what I was doing. And then finally the guy comes out and I'm like, "Well, it's nice to meet you. I'd shake your hand, but I don't think that's appropriate right now. Either way, it's good to know you now that you've seen all of me. Maybe we'll be good friends." Never saw the guy again. Never again. Never saw him again. And he looked like Nick Simmons. He looked exactly like Nick Simmons. He was this big, tall guy with I was like, "Who the fuck are you? And why are you in my house on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. during my fucking porno time? This is my time to, de-stress here. Asshole, you ruined it."
Oh, man, do you reckon he wakes up in a cold sweat going,
Oh,
I saw that guy wanking, I saw that guy wanking, I saw that guy wanking.
Yeah. Like he must tell his friends, "There's this crazy guy. I woke up and there's this fucking lunatic laying on his couch all fucking crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
Oh, Brad, I love you. Boom. Thank you very much, Hippie, again. I saw another super chat flop.
There you go, folks. The amazing, the incomparable Brad example. Brad example, folks. Boom. What can I say? So, this show has had some quite enlightening moments over the years. Let's bring up another interview, one which I really had fun doing. Let's scroll back and see if I can find it here. God, I don't even know where. So we had Jordan Rudess on.
from Dream Theater,
You
which was
one day might catch
which
up
was
to a
sick,
few in
man.
Australia.
I
doubt
couldn't
it very
believe
much.
this.
If you are watching over at Facebook,
Let's jump
hello,
over here.
Welcome to you.
See
if you're
if-
a bit lonely there, because it does get a bit lonely on Facebook.
I can find the moment when Jordan Rudess played his iPad live on the show,
Very, you can do incredibly
which was
spacey
sick,
things
man.
with this
For me,
whole,
this was a massive
concept
like
as well. So you might
honor to
something
have on the
like-
show.
Oh man, soundscape heaven.
Hey, Welton
Yeah,
Kinder.
so that's going to be really a powerful offering because it's a very powerful engine. But these days, I will say that a big focus has been on GeoShred because we've been kind of changing the music world with this instrument because we're seeing people start to use the iPad as a very serious musical instrument. I mean, we have a huge market in India. And one of the reasons is because in India they play Carnatic music, and in Carnatic music there's a lot of control of pitch, of sliding, and they find on GeoShred they have all that kind of control. So if they're doing some kind of interesting like raga, something like that, they can really make it happen. I'm just trying to find a good example to show you for that kind of thing. So here,
So for me, this was like
here's a little meditation sound.
here we go.
A drone, and it uses the clarinet actually. So that's one example of the way that kind of thing can happen.
It's so beautiful to play.
But
It's so
also-
beautiful to play. Anybody can pick it up too. That's what's beautiful about it.
Yes, and some patches actually have only the notes of the scale that you want for a particular musical purpose, like this particular patch. It has just the B flat blues scale on it. So when you hit, you can play it with one finger and just slide on the rows. Well, one of the magical things about GeoShred is when you slide your finger, it's skipping from note to note. It's not sliding in this particular mode, but when you get to a note, you can add vibrato, which is crazy because you think it's actually skipping and playing the exact note, but you can still do vibrato, like. And then. When I hit the backing track. Anyway.
Holy freaking hell, man. I could sit here all day.
How fucking cool, huh? So it was only like, I think as Tom mentioned it, I'd only been doing the show for like 6 months, and to have Jordan Rudess come on the show was like, are you kidding me? Like, I love this dude's music. I'm like a massive fan of Dream Theater. And here he's on my show. So, we've had some amazing people on the show. There's so many to mention. Let's just have a look at some of the people who've been on the show. Let's just name drop. So, yeah, GeoShred is around. I've done a bunch of shows on it. GeoShred rocks. It is just an incredible app. So we opened, the first interview we had was Pete Johns. Let's go to this screen here. So Pete Johns was the first interview. The second one we had on, and I'm going to open this up right now, was, of course, Dan Baker. And Really, really cool. Dan came on the show and amazingly gave us a performance at the end of the show, if I do recall, with his shovel guitar. If I can find it. I'm running from memory here. Was it this show? Oh no, here he goes. This was
This shelf bracket I got from a furniture store.
man.
In fact, I think it was lying about, and so that basically means that I can play a bass line here and do.
Look at this wild man.
Because I was playing keyboards at a gig. I did quite a few gigs playing Hammond organ actually. So I'd be playing the bass and the chords while we had it was a sax player and a drummer. So we were doing quite sort of funky jazzy
See you later, Rick.
stuff. But it was still in dodgy clubs where people were fighting and, you get a bottle thrown at you or whatever. And I decided that I want to be mobile so I can get out of anyone's way. If there's somebody who's like, if the bouncers are trying to restrain somebody who's basically doesn't know his own strength kind of thing.
Quick exit.
I wanted to, so that was one of the reasons. But that fretboard, it's, if you've got, if you have problems with one hand, music is accessible regardless. Yeah. There was, I think, I had a friend. I mean, he died eventually of a brain tumor, but he was able to accompany his child in an exam just with one hand because he's a great pianist. But he'd lost. There were, he'd lost one side of essentially one side, and he was just creating a piano part with one hand, and just doing things differently. And it's still music is music. It's going back to Django Reinhardt with two fingers. I mean, reinventing yourself and just thinking I have to carry on.
Yep.
Because this is what I love doing. And I've started with playing the bass. Sometimes at gigs I get my hand locks up a bit and I just thought, okay, warning, I've got to do something about this. So I had to have a break from it for a little bit. And I haven't had the problem since, luckily. But I'm
sure I had.
It always crosses my mind that what happens.
And it could have been the second time we had Dan on the show. That's probably. See, that's how organised I am. So I really broke it down on a very Let's go back here. So we had Dan, we had on the show Ron Ward, who does his show, his GBU live show. Let me zoom this back out again. So Thomas Gillane on the show as well. So we had Thomas Gillane. We've got Joey Helpish. We've had so many of you amazing people on here. Brian Bigler, Mike Enjo, Iota, who was an actor. He is an actor. He was in the Mad Max Fury Road movie. Adam Glynn, Satish Robinson, Jacob Hack was on the show. Samantha Edge, Yale Aiden, the Indigo Sunsets. I mean, there's been so many people. Even, let's see, this Indigo Sunsets one? Where I think the interview dropped out halfway through. Let's see if I can find that, because everything went haywire. Is that it there? No. It's probably around here. That looked like a frozen moment. Good morning, good up.
I'm wrong. I have my hands up
the power cut, yeah.
Wrong.
The power cut out.
This has been a complete revelation. And
where was it?
I love it. I'm addicted.
I can't even remember where it happened in the show. I'm so organised.
The turning point for you with the guitar was Scotty Borthwick, wasn't it? Where he said, "Get that." What did he say? Get that plug-in. What was it called? MR15997270 or something from Brain.
That's where it cut out, right there. Look at us all.
It's been a complete revelation, and I love it. I'm addicted.
Yeah,
great.
It's a drug.
The turning point for you with the guitar.
Yeah, watch what happens here.
Was Scotty Borthwick, wasn't it? Where he said,
"So we're all having a good time."
What did he say? Get that plug-in. What was it called? MR15997270 or something from Brain.
And then the power cut, and then there's me trying to hook the internet back up. Going, what the fuck? They're frozen. The show remained live. Look at them. I've still got music playing in the background for the show. This is live YouTube, man. You can't. I was so pissed off at this stage. I'm like, what the fuck can I do to get this show back on? I had no experience of if a stream dropped or anything like that. Fucking absolutely enthralling entertainment right here. I'm like, what's going on? But you know what? You leave it in here because this is the funny shit. This is the stuff that shows that mistakes make you better, yeah? And if they don't make you better, you just got to learn. Just get up. I didn't even know I was online. Do I swear? I'm normally going, fuck this. I fucking hate this. Fucking rah rah. So.
Still disconnected. What a joke. Unfucking believable, man.
Look how angry I am. What a miserable sack of shit.
Hello. Are we back online? I don't know.
Man, look at those old shit headphones.
Holy shit.
God, those headphones are so terrible.
I can't see the chat, so I don't know. Unable to connect.
At least I didn't even know I was connected. I'm so displeased. I'm wanting to punch everything right now. I swear to God. I'm like, I'll fucking punch everything, man.
What the fuck?
We back on?
I don't know if we're back on. It looks like we're back live. I don't know. I can't see the chat, so
It says
the power just.
I can see you, Jade. It says you're on.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I think we're back live. I'm not sure. I can't see the chat.
Oh,
so
you
I
wouldn't
can't
believe.
tell if, we are or
Stu's
not.
on. It says Stu's.
Because basically,
Stu's back. That's all right then.
my entire power cut, the power cut in my whole house.
Andy's frozen still.
I'm gonna add him into the call. Yeah, we had a total power outage. It was just like out of the blue.
Live TV, folks. You can't beat it, can you?
Andy is frozen.
I'm trying to bring him back in now. So I don't know if it's screwed. Look, it could have screwed the whole interview. I can't tell if we're back on live or
I'm
not.
still so pissy right now.
Let's add him to the call.
He's
Wow.
panicking. He is.
Their music's still playing in the background.
Right, so
How
people
funny is
can
that?
See us. Wow. Fuck. Dead. Holy shit.
Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Man. So
He's always late.
So-
He's always late, like his guitar playing.
I think it's
Yeah, I'm sure
screwed
we'd never
everything I
hear
had
you
set
swear,
up here,
Russ.
So it screwed all my sources up. I don't know what.
It sure was, Andy.
Let's see. I'll just make sure everything's working. Is the chat?
Oh, looks like everybody's back on. So hello everybody. Hello
What a
everybody.
joke.
Look at Stu's head.
So basically, what happened there
It's now
was
half the
our
picture.
power went up. All our power went completely off here. So I guess I can edit this in post, really.
Yeah, yeah, I did that well.
I hope so. I think I'm going to have to wait for it to all go up later and then edit it down in post. So if you ask, let me
No
just try
shit,
and bring
Pete.
my chat up so I can hopefully see it again. Because it still says disconnected here. Open up
Have a
chat.
cry, Jade. Have a cry.
Oh, cool. It's back. There we go. Holy shit, man. All right, just
My window is in your window, Jade.
Is it?
I'm sort of
yeah, I
I'm
can see that.
encroaching in your
Yeah, I'll fix that. I'll put you behind me. Let's fix that. Let's
Fucking smart
move you
ass.
down there. There you go. Now you're behind me.
perfect.
Wow, man. So look, if you're still here, thanks very much for hanging out. We had a complete power outage here,
Oh,
which
man.
is like nothing I've ever experienced before. So we lost all of our internet. All the power went out. It was quite interesting.
So there you go. Aside from that, it was an awesome
Let me get all
interview.
my shit back where it was. Holy shit.
There you go. Who else have we had on the show? There's so many people of note we've had on here. So who else? Stephen K. Amos, man. So we had an amazing friend of mine who's a massive massive comedian in the UK, and who's
There's is that happening in Australia as
it's
well?
happening everywhere. Man, the QAnon cray 5G nutbags are fucking. They're spreading faster than the virus. They are the virus, in my opinion.
Do you know what? I'm very happy that you touched on this whole virus thing and conspiracy theories. Do you know what? The longer it goes on, the more people are going to be looking for answers in the most bizarre places and then coming up with fucking fuckwittery. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we should all kind of not be arguing with each other in stupid ways and looking for, tin hats and fucking phone masks. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, my opinion on that is, look, I think social media has caused this look at me selfie kind of generation of, like, you know, and living out these fantasy worlds on Facebook of how, look, everything's perfect in my life, and hiding all the things that are negative, that it's created these people who are desperate to be victims in reality. So, and that victimhood is like, oh, the government's against me, everything's against me, the 5G's, there's cameras everywhere, and it's like, why the fuck are you people worried? No one gives a shit about your insignificant
So what I'll
life.
do
You're like
here
an ant,
is,
you know,
let me
We're just
scroll
a
through
collection
this.
of ants.
Okay.
Do you know, I think you're right, but the thing is, that is the beauty of this world, that none of us are the same.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and we all have different ideas, ideologies, that we should all be.
Let's see if I found the right place. If YouTube's going to play
No. There's is that happening in Australia as
It's
well?
happening everywhere, man. The QAnon cray 5G.
Hang on, where are we? God, what's going on with my YouTube?
On
today?
the same show was a band who I'd never heard of, and they were called the Wiggles. And I was introduced to them at that point, and one of them just goes, "We're the Wiggles," and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And apparently, that's what they do.
Yeah, they do.
But then I saw, literally this week, it's only Thursday, that one of their songs from about 5 or 6 years ago, called the Poppadom song.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the Wiggles. I try not to listen to them.
Oh my! Have you not seen this?
No.
Oh my God! You have to Google this and watch this on YouTube. It is my mouth was just like.
I'm searching for it now.
To give you context, right? It's a part of it. There was a show. It's a children's show, and they were doing a song about poppadoms. The only words in the song are literally poppadoms, and it's the Wiggles, all of them dressed in Indian costume.
Right, I found it.
Holding poppadoms, with an Indian woman in front of them, and they're doing the dance and the song. She's not doing anything apart from just dancing. And it's just poppadom. It's like, what? And then halfway through the video, one of the Wiggles is holding a cricket bat. Because you know Indians good at cricket.
I've found it, so I'm going to risk getting the copyright.
I can't play it because I'll get a claim, so I'm going to turn it down. But hopefully I went full screen. Holy fuck, look at this racist shit that the Wiggles created. Look at this, man. It doesn't get... I remember I got a copyright claim for this from the Wiggles, and they demonetized me just for this fucking... Look at this clip, man. What the hell is going on? Racist city. He does. Now, I know Stephen K. Amos really well. We've known each other for quite a long time. And he does. When we hang out, we've been to restaurants and had people come up to him and go, "Oh my God, it's Lenny Henry." And it's, look at this guy playing cricket. Alrighty. So I don't want a copyright claim on this show. On the 400th episode, that would suck. We can close that down, bring the sound back up. So, who else have we had? Stephen K. Amos. We've had Gary Hubbs on here. My friend Riley, Glenn Clark, Lewis Rojaz, Thomas Christ. So here's Thomas Christ. He was on the show as well. Our friend Thomas. And it went through that.
Now, I have a confession to make. I used to like new metal. I'm kind of a fan of some of it.
What?
I think it got a bad
look,
rap.
Some of
Let's
it's
put it that way.
fine.
What, Thomas?
I think for me, it's I'm not trying to shit all over it. I think when you're coming from a background of extreme metal and that kind of thing, and because metal's like disco. Most music genres are like disco. It always comes back to disco. It goes around in a 20-year cycle and just
Totally
revolves
unacceptable.
around and
Thomas Christ
people
likes
forget
new
and they
metal.
go like, no, it's not like that.
We're
old
no longer
disco."
friends.
But it is. It just comes back around every 20 years. And metal's the same thing. Metal went through that whole, Metallica. Then it got to death metal. Then it got to grindcore. Then it got to black metal. And then the black metal had cellos.
Stop
and,
spinning
and
shit,
dancing
Jade.
elves, and it was all just so.
So we've had Thomas Christ on here, Patrick Baird, Panaki Deb, Jordan Rudess, Metalhead Hippie even. Check out the start of this show. You'll hear me swear. You ready? Listen. Hopefully. If it's going to play. You got to listen closely. It's making a liar of me.
Hello? Can you all hear me?
Oh, it's not on there.
Is it working? Let me know in the chat if it's working.
It's time, everybody!
What the fuck? Good morning, good afternoon, good yesterday, good. So we had
the music played.
So if you haven't seen this interview as well,
he comes on the show every once in a while.
definitely worth checking out.
Doggy Dog on my channel and stuff. But I bought him a few guitars, and now he's really getting into the acoustic guitars. And he just
hey,
it's
Dave.
cool that he told me like a month ago or so, man. He says, "I'm really glad you got me into the guitar, man." So it's like he's picked it up. He's really motivated to learn.
See you later, not a
produce
box.
Music, and if that's the best thing that I could have done for him as a dad, is to get him into music and playing and stuff. Because I've always loved music, I just wasn't inclined to be that into it or be a musician and stuff. I never figured I had that kind of talent or wanted to put that much effort into actually creating music because I didn't feel I had enough talent to do that. And I still don't, but I do my best to pick up my guitar every day now and throw out a few riffs, man. If I can get out a Sabbath riff without screwing it up, I feel good, man. I mean, I don't have to play the whole song, but if I can get the riff down and play it, boom. But a lot of people, too, don't know that I'm actually an amputee on crutches, so my hands are like big bricks. And they don't move like other people's. Are really stiff, and I don't have the widdly talent that everybody else does. So everything I do, I have to make an effort to tell my hand to do this or do that and concentrate. And being AD, I tell it to go this way, it goes that way. So I screw stuff up all the time.
So
man.
I'm expecting in 2021 the first. Have you done a collab with any of anyone from the channel?
No, but I do have faith that these guys that I have on my channel, they're good enough to take whatever I can produce and mix it into something, into a song eventually. So yeah, that's in the work. I was talking with Hetriani. I was talking to Marshall, Setups by Marshall, about doing some stuff. And they said, well, Marshall sent me a video and something in drop D, so I've been working on that too. So once I get that down, I'll probably try to do that.
So there you go.
Well,
Hippie,
if I can just add a few riffs or
Hippie's going to release an album one day soon. Hello, Cam. I hope you're doing well. Let's run through a few other people who've been on. Man, we had Heinbach on here as well. Auntie G, Lady Rhodaline Straight. Did I just move my videos around? I think I did. Oops, yeah, I did. I moved them in the playlist into a wrong order. Hetriani, Erica Miner. This video here, probably one of my most viewed videos, was Russ8889. If you haven't seen this interview, trust me, go and see it. It is one of the most
in studio,
inspiring interviews you will see.
A mix of it for you, getting it then taken to the record place that would cut the records, then going to the record pressing plant, get the records cut, then going out and distributing the records yourself, driving around in your car with a box full of records, going around all the shops handing them out, or trying to sell them, should I say. So it was very different in them days to what it is now.
Yeah, look, and a lot of young people now who are living this digital era have no idea about that whole process, even though vinyl is making a comeback. What's your opinion on the way the music industry has changed from those days of, the whole process? Because it was going into a studio, recording things, getting things mastered. You'd send it off somewhere else. You'd send it to a mastering person. They'd send it back. Then you'd hit a processing plant. What are your thoughts on today's industry with the digital releases compared to the old methods?
I think it's a lot more accessible to everyone, because I was only chatting tonight with my friend Steve about this. I was saying, in the days that I was doing it, like, firstly, you had to have a recording studio or means to make the music, which used to be quite a lot of money to buy the keyboards and computer, and now when you can make something on your iPhone, which you carry about with you all day, and make a record and put it up to DistroKid, and I think that's really, really good. But it's so different to the way I come down the road to it, and that's why, for me personally, like, the buzz of maybe releasing something digitally isn't really prevalent for me, because I couldn't really give a fuck. I've already done it on vinyl. I've done it on CD. Yes, I would release something onto a digital stream, but it's only just really for me to complete the circle of being able to say, oh, I've done it on this, done it on that, and I've done it on that. It's not the
really give a
be-all
fuck.
and the end-all to me to do it. It's, I don't see it as, unless you're very, very good, a big money-making kind of thing. I used to do it for a living. I wouldn't be able to do that now.
You were a good boy on that
because I
episode.
like doing fuck all for a living now.
So as an electronic artist, and
we got two fucks in there. Of course we did. Man, it's an awesome interview. It's one of my favorite ones that I've done. Laurie Bravo who's somebody, a metal performer, somebody from a band that I grew up loving, which was really cool for me. Marcus Manderson, Jendine Forberg, so many people. Brad Example, Jamie Mallender, who's here as well. Jamie Mallender came on the show and told us all. But let's jump into Jamie Mallender for a second here, because Jamie was an awesome interview as well. And Jamie's just
all that 80s stuff.
Jamie's just come back and done a show today, so he's back on fire.
The music in the charts at the time was you got your hair metal stuff. That was like the kind of like the alternative music, and then you got your pissy pant kind of teeny pop music, and then the other kind of music was the beginnings of house music.
Yeah.
And I really didn't get that at all. I mean, it was slightly preferable to the teeny bop shites, but I mean, I didn't get it. But now I hear it, and I think, well, that's actually quite brilliant. Like Pump Up the Volume was on everything the whole time. You couldn't get away from it. They would very rarely on British TV. They would very rarely show a band like Motley Crue.
Yeah.
They would avoid it at all costs. But Pump Up the Volume, you could not escape it. And I despised every second of it. And now I hear it and I think, it's actually really clever.
Sell out.
It's quite brilliant. What was wrong with me?
I feel your pain. I'm sure when Kev... So we've had Jamie Mallon on the show, Darren Anderson, John Kell, Tim Roberts. I mean, Chandler Brothers. So many great interviews, and there's so many more to come. So we're kicking off interviews again next week. We've got Matt Seven coming on the show, Kim Harden Hudson, Joe and Barry Glenn. We've got a whole lot of really cool interviews coming up, folks. So stick around for that. I want to jump across and bring up another special moment. So we are going a little bit long today. I'll close it off at some stage. So I've done a bunch of these other shows, which I'm going to get back into doing again soon, which are, if I can find it here in my list, the behind the song shows. So we've only done 4 of these, where we take a look behind how people make their songs in GarageBand or whatever it is that they use to make their music. And I just have to bring up, so we've done Thomas Gillane, Indigo Sunsets, Gary Hubbs, and Russ. But one of my favorite ones, of course, was the Indigo Sunsets Raging Waterfall with the squeaky chair. Let's talk about the squeaky chair.
Echoing from my end?
I don't know. Let us know if we are echoing, but I we aren't.
See if we can find it.
So this was the first time.
I don't know if I can find it.
Clicked.
Yeah. All right, let me bring this screen back up. The strings pulling in and out.
I'm probably not even going to be able to find
Gad,
it.
Tom Rochelle, SM Ball.
She'll go and cut the roses. Yeah. Was it at the
So
start?
we've been playing in bands for 20 years, but actually to garage band and production and all this sort of stuff, we were still really fresh to it all. And you'll see on here that I've had a look through it all, and it's like whatever I was watching at the time. So you could probably bank on that stereo lags in there, because I just watched Pete cover stereo lag or something I've watched you on, and then stuck it all into this.
Why can't I find the squeaky chair?
So yeah, it was a really bad time, wasn't it? But lockdown gave us a real opportunity to be able to pull our fingers out and do some recording, and that's what some of these songs have come from, which is cool.
Yeah, man. Bad times sometimes bring really magical stuff. You know, look at the artwork from the Black Plague. what am I talking about? So I'll play.
So I can't find it now. I can't find
the
it.
comments to answer all your questions.
Maybe it's
Or
too
recently, yeah, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, and so all your music.
There it is.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. They we actually cocked it up from our end on when we first released it. So we both sat in Andy's conservatory, or giving each other high fives and stuff, and we'd actually cocked it up. So when it was released and we listened to it, we were like, we'd compressed one of them, took down the album straight. The guy as well.
It's every time he moves.
We've just released Sinking Like a Stone through District. That's sort of like the last thing that you do, is hoping it goes on.
I think all about that pain, blood, and sweat. That you can see. This is my distro kit here. I have cost me like $79 a year or something like that. So, but you can sign up to DistroKid for it's like $20 a year. There is a promo code in my description, which you can get 7% off, and I recommend them to everyone because they're awesome. All right, so let's go back and have a look.
Right in the middle of my
this,
sponsor.
Wonderful track. We're going to bring everything in here and see how it sounds. And then we are going to...
He had his mic up so fucking loud.
Christ, it's every time you move, man. It sounds like,
Sorry.
It sounds like there's an earthquake.
I've been professional throughout. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Hey, we actually prepared this
We did.
after the last 3 days, man. We've had 2 Skype calls. We've had 3 Clubhouse meetings. I love it.
I'll leave my phone volume on.
Hey, I see Doug's in the chat as well, and Jamie Mellon. Hello, welcome to you guys. We're pros all the way. All right, so let's bring everything in. I'm going to kick off with the guitars, and we'll. All right. I should be sampling your chair actually.
Yeah, you should.
And use it as a drum beat, because I'm going to remaster. Well, I'm going to remix this and add my own 808 to this. All right, let's have a.
So basically, he'd got a new microphone, I think, and it was just picking fucking everything up in the room, no matter what he did. All right. I want to jump over and have a look at hello, Lady Rhodaline Straight. So Lady Rhodaline Straight was another person who I've interviewed. So 46 interviews, man. So many cool people that I've interviewed. I want to head over to let's have a look at the Wart series, and then we'll spin the wheel and see what the wheel gives us. So the Wart series I started off during COVID, when I don't know, we were all locked down, man, and things felt like they were kind of closing in, like this virus hit us, and nobody really knew what to expect. And there seemed like there was a lot of people out there who were struggling with mental health and well-being. So this is how the whole We All Rise Together Wart series began. And I started trying to tackle stuff that you wouldn't see on a show like this, like fear. So self-doubt was one of the episodes. And at the start of each show, I would try and create some music to do this.
Adage of, and
it was more like a
there are more disasters
help
happening
session
in the world than what they used to be. But are they? Or is it just that we are so much more interconnected now that we just see it more often? So I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, and I'll get to saying hello to you in a moment. And feel free to answer in the chat. Whatever it is that you create, be it music, art, video, web design, just creating your space each day where you have to work at, creating your hair, how you look, how you present yourself each day. Why do you
listen to me? I think I'm acting. I think I'm a fucking psychiatrist.
Why do you continue to do the things to create things? Why do you create?
So we did episodes on hope, darkness. In darkness, there's hope. Right? I tried to confront these things and
actually believe there is any at the moment. It seems the last 24 hours of my...
So we covered a whole lot of stuff with these shows, and you guys were really involved in it. Look, I even covered some of my health issues. Jeez, I didn't even realize that. That's a bit scary. Seeing that
the hand that was given, and this isn't a pity party. Seriously, this isn't about. I'm just making a point because I know many of us who watch this show every day or who interact with me every day away from this show understand hurt and suffering and the things that are going on, and we're all dealing with shit. We're all dealing with medical conditions. We're all dealing with so much stuff, right? But every time I speak to every one of you guys every day, there's hope. I'm just going to move over to the comments because I'm not acting that for a bit because it reminds me.
Brutality.
The more people you listen to and learn from who are overcoming adversity.
Confronting stuff like this for me was really heavy as well, Thomas, to do this stuff. But at the time, like, I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do.
And while I was trying to help.
And to be honest, I did stop these because I felt like maybe we were coming out of lockdown. So maybe the right time was to put it aside for a bit.
Live in the browser.
So also did episodes
this is our
on
third episode of this
emotions,
fly by the seat of your pants,
anxiety. So we covered anxiety as well, and we were opening Clubhouse shows afterwards and talking about this stuff. But we also talked about stuff like success and
be a champion.
I'll probably get a copyright claim again for that. We talked about bullying. We talked about guilt. And then in recent episodes, we've talked over Songtember about things like biographies and branding and things like that. And the Clubhouse chats were really cool, weren't they? So people were coming into Clubhouse and were having people were just pouring out their hearts and talking about all this full-on stuff that's happened in their lives. I felt really privileged to have all of you trust me to facilitate these things because I was just flying by the seat of my pants and just talking shit, really, getting up and just speaking with no script or anything like that, just to, that's it, Thomas. Not a lot of planning went into it at all. It was just talking from the heart, because sometimes you've just got to do that. I think sometimes you can script stuff till the cows come home, but for something like this, for emotions and feelings and anxiety and all this stuff, I think it would have come through as scripted, and I didn't in any way want people to think that I was selling them bullshit, you know, because that's the worst thing. You don't want anybody accusing you of being a bullshit artist, because, you know, especially when they're wrong. So you cut those kind of people out of your life. Anyway, let's jump over and spin the wheel, shall we? I'm so glad some of you did like those episodes, because I had a few people say that they didn't like them. They thought they were a bit heavy. So I pulled away from them and I gave them a break, knowing that I could bring them back at any other time. So it's a handy thing to have in the back pocket to pull out. I enjoy doing them, but they were really heavy too on me as well. I have to admit, doing them, it was taking a toll. It was fucking heavy. So I know if it was heavy for you guys, it was really heavy for me. Trust me on that. So there's been a bunch of special events on the channel as well. Just looking here. So things like what went down at WWDC. We've got Patreon kind of things on here, live performances, mental health stuff in here, a whole lot of, and heaps of these. So if you're a fan of Pete Johns, you would know that there has been a shitload of uncensored rants with me and Pete. These are some of my favorite shows.
I can't recall what the FNY is, but it's our buddy Case from up in the Netherlands, where it's probably about 0 degrees.
Yeah. Nick Hamby's here as well. I don't think I missed anyone else. I'm just making sure.
I'm
so glad to hear
Cody
that, Kim.
Walsh, hello,
So glad.
aboard as well. Thank you very much for being here.
And then find a thing to fix it. I'm not really a person that's like, so I'm going to go out and try and clean up my audio anymore, because again, I'm not experiencing it. But again, that's probably better luck as opposed to better judgment.
Look at Pete. He doesn't have a wild man beard like the first interview I did with him. He doesn't look like a werewolf. Oh no, Pete's orange. What the fuck?
It sucks. It's actually.
But
I actually did.
Pete's about to have a fucking hemorrhage.
Roofing. Now, if you want to know the worst,
holy shit,
roofing is it.
So glad Lady wrote a line.
It's not that it's just a hard slog. The thing is, you're rolling up to somebody's house, knocking on the door, and
look
going,
at Pete with the chocolate.
I noticed your
chocolate
roof
milk
sucks.
action.
Yep.
You're not getting off on the best foot. You're telling them, "Hey, where you live is a shithole," and I just thought I'd come and tell you and offer you this and it's going to be a bad job where you're going to have people on your roof for days and days, and it's going to stress you out, and it's not really going to look much better. And we're probably going to run away.
So, look, there's plenty of these rant episodes. We even had a special rant, I do believe. Where is it? Let's see if I can find the right one. So we had a New Year's Eve rant, and this is the video I was looking for earlier. This was with Dan Baker, and I'm sure at the end, he played us some music. Let's jump over and have a listen
on
to
you one more time, because it is the end of the year, and we're probably not going to chat until next year.
Going off his chops.
And you know, and I know you're a showman. Would you play us out with something else? Would you, off the top of your head, because we've got better sound now and better picture this time around. I'm glad I called you back.
Right. What are we doing then? Now I'm on the spot.
Now you're under the pump, aren't you, Dan Baker?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got my daughter's beginner's book of carols.
Yes!
Here, Christmas.
Let's do this shit.
Let's do this. Right, it's all got this funny sort of dots and music. Now it's fine.
Awesome. Take your time. You're under no pressure, you know. Where you are a bit.
Totally. I'm looking for this one. I do gypsy jazz covers of things. God rest you, merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. For Jesus Christ, our Savior, was born upon this day to save us all from Satan's power when things were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. And merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. For Jesus Christ, our Savior, was born upon this day to save us all from Satan's power when we've gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
What the fuck am I doing with a drum?
Tell you what, the bass end on your microphone's brilliant. I'm listening on studio monitors, and it just went. Out of the speakers. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, last time you were awesome. We love Dan Baker, and maybe we'll have him on the show again soon because he's brilliant. So if you go through these playlists, there's a whole bunch of this kind of stuff in here. There's like a fuck you New Year's Eve. All the Ward episodes are in here. Behind the songs are in here as well, so all that kind of stuff. I even did a video memorial song for one of my friends who passed away, a big producer here in Australia, which was for Michael Gudinski, which was a killer for me. Here you go. Let's play this. So basically, give you some backstory. A big producer here in Australia, not a producer, so a manager of many Australian bands, many Australian bands. A really good friend of mine who I love so dearly and miss him every day. And he passed away this year, and I decided to just put the show aside and do a live performance playing my favorite songs for him. And I was so fucked up. I sat in the dark and played. So let's play the last track of it because I haven't heard this. I've never gone back and listened to this. So I'm going to jump out here and let's see how it went. I was a fucking mess. I'm in tears at this point.
This is not another love song. It is about being true to yourself. Okay, we'll try that again. This is not another love song. It is about being true to yourself. It's all you can rely on, and friends who love you for being your true selfish. You may think it of me, but we are connecting right now. Here, your selflessness is all you need, and then you can be true to your
animosity and prejudice just for being themselves? Is it really worth the hustle to hate someone for being different? 'Cause everybody's made of flesh, bone, skin, and blood. We eat each other and we love not enough. But through words and music, your life you choose it. Songs and laughter, shit ever after. You can't choose it all, you can't lose it. Just remember, don't ever abuse it. Just do what makes you happy. So many people are afraid to be themselves, afraid of what people may think. Isn't it right to say the people that you worry about only worry about themselves? They're not thinking about you. So why do so many people lash out in public at a person for being 100% themselves? You can believe in yourself 100% without being an asshole. I was unhappy for many a year in my life, emotions flowing on a roller coaster, suicide. Truly hated myself 'cause I feared the worst. Nobody would love me for me. Telling you free thinking is punished in life. Honesty is something I find very hard to believe. The anger was building inside of me when all I really wanted to do was cry. When everything was going bad, try not to let it out, to be so sad. Try to let other people's drama make you mad. Now it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. And just do what makes you happy. Holy fuck. Boom. Isn't music amazing? Yeah. How lucky are we that we're able to make music? And fuck, if you can write a song that makes you cry, you're on a winner. That's what my music teacher always told me. If you can write music that makes you actually cry or makes you laugh, this is the profession for you. This is what you need to do because you'll connect with other people. And he's right, man. I couldn't think of any other thing that I would rather do than make music. And I'm so blessed, and I don't mean in a religious way, to be able to do this show every day and hang out with all of you and hopefully add some kind of help towards you guys making music, because that's the most important thing. And I get to make music through this show as well, which is absolutely incredible. I can't thank you all for being here. This is episode 400. Thank you all for the kind words. This is what we're here for, to create things, to express and grow and love and hate and cry and share together and all this kind of stuff. I know it sounds wanky, but it is what it is. Hello, Black Covers. Yeah. Just is, man. Just is, you know what I'm saying? And I get to perform every weekend and play songs for you as well, which is, this has been, not only has this channel been hopefully helpful to all of you, but it's been super helpful for me. It's been so helpful for me because of my health, which is totally fucked, and lots of you know about it. If you're new to the channel, I have this really rare blood condition where even the last 2 days I've spent like probably all up about 8 hours with blood nose, bleeding from my mouth. That's the side you don't see. But if it wasn't for this show, shit would be a lot tougher, you know what I'm saying? And out of it, oh God, I'm a mess. There's no shame in being like that either. And out of it too, I've been able to make great music from here. I got to do Songtember last year and create the Metheist video clip, create the Metheist EP. This year I got to do the FMC stuff. I've got to make Kindercore utensils, and you guys have all been along the ride for my stuff as well and supported my music as hopefully as much as I support your music. And you know what? The apps at the end of the day are it's like the icing on the cake. That's why you may have noticed over the last month or just over a month that I've gone back to more of this community thing, because I felt the show was heading down a path of more about too many apps and almost like I don't know, I don't want to be an app salesperson. I want to show apps and hopefully have provide a service that you can find apps that can help you create instead of just buying apps continuously, because there's no point owning a million apps if you're not making anything. Yeah. So speaking of which, we've got about 20 minutes left. Man, I'm a mess. I am a mess. And thank you all for being a part of this show for 400 episodes. It feels like 1,000. We're gonna for the last 20 minutes, we're just gonna spin the wheel now. So we've got this wheel here. Look at this shit. And we're gonna let the wheel dictate some shows and see what apps we've looked at. So let's spin the wheel. Look at that wheel. There's so many numbers on it. I have no idea. Look at that shit. Whoa! That was loud. 303. We've got 303. Don't cheer yet until we find out what it is. What is episode 303? So we go here. This is going to be fun, finding 303 out of 400 videos. That is a wheel and a half. So let's do some searching, see if we can find. So I don't know what season this will be from. What is 303? TB 303. Oh man, I've got the snottiest nose. Here we are, 300. 303, where are we? 303 was Stream Podcast. Let's have a look at this. So, Stream Podcast. Stream Podcast is an AUV3. So this one, oh man, I need a tissue. Don't get emotional on camera, folks. It's terrible. So this app is a podcast AUV3 that you can... you can actually... So what you can do now, it's very basic looking. Now, what I need to explain to you first before we get into this is that currently at the moment, this has only just been released, yeah. And the developer who makes this has made such other good apps as, let me just scroll across here to get to the point. This is the problem with my shows. I never get to the point on time.
Welcome, Troy McClure. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may
Oh my God.
grab. This one's a
So-
relaxing box fan sound. So I did a search for like deep sleep sound.
You can grab
course
podcasts
there is.
as AUV3s
Play.
and play them in your in GarageBand or whatever.
So there you go. There's a lovely, annoying fan sound. So, I mean, you think it, and you can probably find it as a podcast. So, you know, I found sleep binaural sounds. I found people discussing murderers. You know, there's horror stories. There's people discussing music and all this stuff. So there's a whole lot of stuff you can find.
Of course, I found a podcast about murders.
Podcast. Unfortunately, I don't know why, Pete Johns' podcast refuses to play. So, go figure on that one. I can't work it out why.
I couldn't
Every
get
other
Pete's
podcast I
podcast to
found
work.
Works beautifully. Let's see. Let's just do a search. So, and so we've got this sound here. Now I can go in that we've got this playing. And I can pretty much here just go down to hit record, and we can record this in. But that's recording
Yeah.
everything, is it?
We're making music with the podcast app.
So there we go. So now, I should have really closed that, shouldn't I?
Man, my shows are always a disaster. There's always something that goes wrong, isn't there? Right. Let's spin the wheel again. Let's see what random thing we come up with. Let's spin the fucking wheel. All right, make sure the volume's not as loud as before. $301. Okay, let's do 301. This is going well, Jade. Snakebud. Let's have a look at Snakebud, shall we? Snakebud. What is Snakebud?
Really cool. That's hello, Shane.
Oh, this was just after
It says here,
WWDC.
officially Banned by Fox.
This is when I got banned.
Is available on the How to app on iOS website. So Fox, there you go. Two can play at that. Oh man, I am a snarky bitch. That's how I. Let's go back over here just before we move into it.
So this is Snakebud.
Woogie woogie.
Here we go. So it's a randomizer.
Baroque orchestra.
And it's randomizing
Let's have a listen to the wave.
your instruments. And all these are randomized through Snakebud.
Boogie woogie. And we got some guitar just underneath. Hello, Sion. Welcome aboard. Hi, Russ. I don't think I said you, Russ. Let's add in the orchestra.
Jesus, I don't sound too bad. What the fuck?
Cool, yeah?
Cool, yeah.
Alrighty. So,
Man, I say yeah way too. Cool, yeah, yeah. Let's spin the wheel again, see what else we find. Make sure the volume's way down on this stupid wheel. There we go, that's much better. Oops. What am I doing? Man, that's a long spin. 281! Bring 'em in, spinner. 281. Let's have a look what we can find. This is a nice, fun way to round out the show. 281. So you can find all these shows the same way I am, because I have playlists all set up, so everything's all in order. Painstakingly got all these 400 episodes in order. So 281 was over 400 presets, morphing fun with Cube Synth Pro. Let's have a look at this.
exactly right. Audible video. You've got 4 different.
So I
presets
think
for
at the end of
parts here,
this,
which have got A,
I
B,
probably...
C,
Oh, there's the wheel of
and D,
warts.
and you can some pads. Then we'll wrap up. So you can see too, like as you hold down, so the way you're playing your keys is differently how these dots are going to react. Yeah. So these chord I have down solid. As you can see, there's 70 sounds in here just alone. Just in this little section here. Makes me think we are so blessed to have so many amazing apps come out. I mean, there's been a bit of a drought lately of apps, which normally does happen this time of the year. But it just seems this year there's a lot less apps coming out. Let's spin the wheel again, see what else we come up with. We've done well because it's all been apps so far. And that wheel they're big spins. 287. Man, everything's really around the same number, isn't it? It's the wheels, it's a cheating wheel. 287. What was 287? 287 was ID 700. Let's have a look at this thing. What does this thing do? What does ID 700 do? I don't know. Thank you for the sub. So we need an... So I'm going to jump over to one of the patch bays here, which is the top one, number 1. Did I click it right? It's so small, man. It's so small. I'm bitching. I can't tell if I've actually clicked it right. There we go. So another cool app. Let's spin the wheel again, see what we come up with. We've got 8 minutes to spin the wheel a few more times. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you're enjoying the show, leave a thumbs up. That would be good.
And if you did want a super chat or anything like that, it's up to you. Never expect it or anything like that. Let's hit spin. Spin, baby. I want to win some money here on the number picker wheel. Fucking hell. The good old number picker wheel. 275. Man, what the hell? I'm going to change this. 275. Has this got anything to do with 275? There we go. Oh, I think it's missing numbers. It's 275. What was 275? We're bound to come up with an interview soon. 275. If we find an interview, I'm not going to do it. 275. Oh, man. Swam strings. Okay. Double bass. So here I am controlling Swam strings with GeoShred. This is really cool, yeah? And just like before, you can go in and you can change the play mode if you prefer. So that's all good, yeah. Pretty good stuff. How GeoShred has a lot of versatility to it, and clearly it's made to work with these Swam instruments because it has a lot of Swam instruments built into it. That's a really cool thing. So they've got an understanding between them. So you know, shut up, Jade. God, you talk a lot of shit. Anyway, let's see how we go with the wheel this time. I think I was skipping every second number. I don't know. Oh, fuck off, man. 297. Man, this has been a bit of a failure. It's all around the 200s. What's going on? 297. 20 apps. Oh, here we go. 20 apps that make me happy. So, this one, did I actually... does this have timestamps? No, it doesn't even... Does it? There we go. So, Mononoke. Let's go through some of these because there's some cool apps in here. We can skip through this. This is at least one that has a whole bunch of apps in it. So these are apps that I've looked at in the past. Good times. So this is Waverly Tables. Still on Waverly Tables, I think. Did I see? All right. Then we've got, the numbers are rigged, man. Greg's been in and rigged all the numbers. So this is Apparillo. Apparillo is crazy, man. Now look how cool this is. So when I hit a different key... What else is in here? So we've got, scrolling through this. This is Altetha. Amazing reverb. Look what it does for my voice. I think we got tone. We'll show tone bridge before we move on. All right, we'll do 6. Is great.
It does distortion.
I know
Great,
this is tone stack.
but it just does
69, huh?
distortion. That's it. This covers, as I said here, but it's ridiculous.
Get to some guitar, bitch.
Of course. Let's see if my kid. What else have we done? Let's bring up. Let's do this.
All right, Beat Cutter. God, there's so many good apps in
And
this
you can
episode.
have a whole bunch of those in here and really fuck with them, twist them all up. So I did an episode on this. What episode was it? Beat Cutter is episode 245, season 5. I love this shit, man.
I love this shit, man. I love this shit, man. So this episode had like Mononoke, Fundamental, Black Hole, Altetha, Beat Cutter, Tonebridge, Tone Stack, GeoShred, Lurson's Mastering, iSymphonic, EG Pulse, Pure Piano, Helium, Swarm Brass, Swarm Strings, MIDI Guitar 2, Strummer FX, Chord Jam, Apparillo, Waverly Tables, all killer stuff. Shall we go to 42? 42. What was 42? What do you think 42 was? Aurea Pro.
Good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS.
Old episodes.
And it's episode 42.
So here I am programming drums in.
I'm going to hit the effects unit straight away and just go to my vocal mix new.
I don't know what I was recording.
Have all my preferred basic EQing set up for it. I'm going to pull down the volume a bit. Now you go to the top. There's a record button. Once you click on that, you'll notice just below it the.
Did I record anything?
Also, let's have a look at this. I didn't even know what I was going to sing then. 1 second. Let's do this. I love live. Let's just turn it off for now. I love
I'm going vintage.
Live. Making mistakes. That's what it's all about, folks. So let's get an idea of what I'm going to sing here. That vocal doesn't seem too loud too. So the side from here. iPad Pro or iPad. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for iPhone.
So what did Russ say? 69. Let's jump over to 69. Then we'll wrap up this show because it's already gone. We're right on the 2 hours. That's all I said we're going to do. 69 was Song Timber. This is perfect because I was going to go out. Last year's Song Timber. Metheist.
So that one is the one I've worked on the least. Excuse me. Oh, that'll happen when you try and sing at 8:19. Fuck the system. But this will be changed because I've already decided all the songs are hopefully going to have these differences in it. If all the songs sounded like Slayer on this, I'd be more worried about it. But because it's something I'm just throwing together and it's a project, I'll probably end up keeping it. So let's have a listen to it and you'll hear the Slayer influence in it. As soon as I played the first few notes, I was like, oh my God, it sounds like Slayer.
Everybody's moving away. No one to go any other way. All divided, like God they will fall. Now they crumble, down they go. World divided.
What the hell? So there you go. That was last year's Song Timber. Can you believe I did a whole EP last year as well? And you know what? That was how I was going to end today's show anyway. So if I head over to my library here, on my videos, and I was going to end with World Divided. So thanks for being here, Welton Kinder. Thank you all for being here and hanging out for this 400 step back in time. Let's see. World Divide. I can't even spell it. dead. Hang on, what's going on? Where's Metheist? well divided. Metheist. World divide dead. I can't even find my own video clip. How bad's that? Man, what's going on? That sucks. Where is it? World divide. Oh yeah, it's spelled D-A-D. That's probably why. There we go. So, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me today for this 400th episode. I'll be back tomorrow looking at an app. And, yeah, thank you all. You make getting up each day to do this absolutely worthwhile. It's been so amazing for 400 episodes to see you all grow and the music that you've all created, because that's what this is all about. See you later, Lady Rodaline. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Let's go out and play the official Metheist World Divided video clip from last year, which I shot in my garage using my iPad and a green screen. And it's still one of the proudest things I think I've done. And it all came about from doing this show. Yeah. Alrighty, this is Metheist World Divided, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we all rise together, yeah? Alrighty, let's do this thing. Let's go there. See y'all!